Hello, this is JP from JP's LEGO Reviews. Today I'm going to take you through my LEGO Vehicle Christmas Guide for 2024. So, let's break it down. Now, for budget LEGO sets, the first set I recommend is $40 Australian dollars and 27 US dollars, and it is the Ferrari F40. Now, there are a few reasons why I like this car in particular. Firstly, it's realistic to the Ferrari F40, and that's important. Secondly, it's a car that can be built as a LEGO Speed Champions car, and it looks good on display in general. And the great thing about LEGO Speed Champions cars are the fact that they're both displayable and playable at the same time. So on one hand, you can play with it as a toy. On a different hand, you can then display it at the same time, because Speed Champions cars do look good enough on display. The next set I recommend is also $40 Australian dollars or 27 US, and it is the McLaren F1 car. I like this LEGO set for two particular reasons. Firstly, it's the cheapest way to get a LEGO licensed Formula 1 car, and secondly, it's quite realistic to the actual McLaren F1 car. The only thing is there are a few stickers, and both of these sets are a bit mediocrely priced. Like, I would recommend getting it on discount if you can, since I'm not too sure if the current price of Speed Champions is actually worth the money. But in this specific case, you get a very good looking F1 car. It's detailed and it has everything you want in it, and overall it's just a well executed vehicle. Now, for medium LEGO sets, the first one I can recommend is $75 Australian dollars and 45 US dollars, which is the Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon and SL convertible. Let's start with the G-Wagon. It's big, which is interesting to see because we don't see many SUVs. It looks pretty decent. It's a G-Wagon, and overall, it's very different from a normal Speed Champions car, which I really like seeing. And it's executed well. Now, the SL63 is a very, very cleanly executed convertible. It looks fantastic. The yellow, the wheel choice, and the overall sculptural build of the SL63 has been done very well in LEGO form. And this is one of the only few 2-pack Speed Champions LEGO sets that maybe have ever been released where both cars are good quality cars. Now, the next set, retailing for $100 Australian dollars and 80 US dollars, is the McLaren MP4 and Ayrton Senna. Now, this is a retro themed F1 car. It's designed to be displayed, but what I like about it is it's very displayable, and it's also a heritage McLaren Formula 1 car. It's not a current, and it's the only non-current Formula 1 LEGO set that you can purchase, and it looks fantastic to display. But what I appreciate about it is, for such a small LEGO set, its main purpose is to be displayed, and that's something that really should be looked at more often. The only criticism I do have is it's too expensive for what it is, but I've seen it, at least in my market, on discount. So if you can get it on discount, please get it at least 20% off, because it is a bit overpriced. Now, for $60 Australian dollars and 33 US dollars, we have the LEGO Technic Mack LR electric garbage truck. Now, this is a vehicle, but it's not a car. Now, why I recommend this specific vehicle is for two main reasons. Firstly, it's pretty decently valued for what it is, and it looks decent on display. It doesn't look great, because this LEGO Technic set does have function over form. But what's more impressive is what you can do with this. With a tightly compacted vehicle, you can do steering, you can put the garbage inside of a truck, and you can tip the bed over. Despite that and the LEGO set looking pretty good, that's a very good achievement for this garbage truck. Now, for $85 Australian dollars and 50 US dollars, we have the Lamborghini Huracan Technica. Out of these sorts of LEGO cars that LEGO Technic have been releasing, this is just the best quality one by far. and I've reviewed it, and the reason why I have this set is because it's simply good. It's well shaped, you have decent amount of functionality, you can see the pistons going, it steers, and most importantly, it looks quite realistic. And what I like about this LEGO set is it kind of combines the best of LEGO Technic, where you have functionality and form all merged into one, where other car models just don't look as good, but the Lamborghini in particular is a good looking vehicle, and the value proposition is pretty decent as well. Now, when it comes to large sets, the first set we have retailing for 150 Australian dollars or 90 US dollars is the Transformers Bumblebee. Now, this set isn't probably the best value for money, but it is better than the Optimus Prime. Now, what I like about this LEGO set is simply it transforms from a mech into a car. Now, that's the point of Transformers, but the fact that LEGO have been able to actually implement these functionalities into this vehicle makes it impressive already. It's a great LEGO set to display both as a car and as a mech. And what I appreciate about this set maybe the most is the fact that even though it's a display set, LEGO didn't make it bigger because it just feels like it should be bigger. It's at the correct size and it looks great. The yellow pops out well, and overall it's well built. The only thing I would recommend is if you can get it cheaper, do get it cheaper. The next set I have is 250 Australian dollars and 150 US dollars, and it is the Corvette. Now, this set is primarily made for display purposes, and for that purpose, it's fantastic. You can still steer the car, which is great to see, but what I like about this vehicle is you can either have it as a coupe or a convertible. The convertible does look better than a coupe. It looks fantastic. It's by far the best looking LEGO car set we will have here today, and it's simply because with normal bricks you can make something so much more realistic to the real Corvette than with Technic pieces or at a smaller scale, simply because it allows you to, and it's just simply a fantastic display set. It looks great on display. Again, a little bit questionable the value, but the value proposition isn't terrible here, and that's good to see. Now, when it comes to a LEGO set that's 200 Australian dollars or 120 US, being the Ford GT. This is a very interesting LEGO Technic set because it kind of merges in between the sort of Land Rover Defender, the sort of 300 to 400 Australian dollar, 2 to 300 US dollar, sort of big but not extremely big LEGO Technic display set, and the Lamborghini Huracan we saw earlier. It does have a little bit more functionality, but overall it's just a fantastic looking LEGO set. And it's also a good LEGO set to consider if you want to get a pretty large LEGO Technic car set, but you're not too sure about building a huge amount of technical functionality into the car. But that is one of the negatives. If you do want something with more functions, this probably isn't for you, and it's quite well priced, all things considered as well. Now, for gigantic sets, the first one we have is for 300 Australian dollars or 200 US, we have the Concorde. Yes, it's a vehicle, and the main reason why I like this set so much is it's very realistic to the Concorde aircraft, and it's the only aircraft also that went supersonic, basically going past the speed of sound. It has a really interesting story connected to it, and it's massive for 300 Australian dollars or 200 US. It's just a very large LEGO set, and it's done pretty well. It's executed well, and it's a LEGO set that is worth getting if you love aviation. The next LEGO set I have is 300 Australian dollars or 220 US dollars, and it is the Mercedes-Benz F1 car. Now, I did review the McLaren, and it is a great looking Formula 1 car, but this looks better. The all-black theme really helps out because an all-black LEGO car, it sort of hides a lot of flaws, and it's just a very slick, clean looking Formula 1 car. But I'm going to compare it to the McLaren because I think that they've kind of ripped off probably 80% of the design, where you have heaps of stickers, you can steer it, you can see the pistons going, and it has a bunch of smaller features as well, and it looks good for the price. And if you like this aesthetic, then you'll like the Mercedes. I would say in my market, because you can get this cheaper, do get it cheaper. It's not the best value car in the world. It probably should be maybe $250 Australian dollars or 180 US. But for what it is, it's not terrible, and it's a good Lego set if you like Formula 1 cars. And it's also a very clean looking display set. Next, for 400 Australian dollars or $250 US dollars, we have the Lego Technic Mercedes-Benz G500, aka a G-Wagon again. This set's very, very similar to the Land Rover Defender set that I own, and the reason why it is that way is because they took that SUV and sort of applied it to the G-Wagon. But it's actually a good thing. You get all the functionality that you saw in the Land Rover Defender. So obviously you can steer it, you can open the doors, it's fun to play with, but you also can gear shift now. You can put it into first, second, third gear. You have neutral. You also have high range and low range gears for off-roading as well. And it's a very good looking G-Wagon as well, but you get more functionality out of this. And if you want a Lego Technic car with more functionality at probably the cheapest price with lots of functionality, this car is the right one for you. And also in my market, it's also good to get because you can get it easily at least 300 Australian dollars now, 25% off. So in markets where you can get it on discount, get it at a discount, and it'll feel like a great value for money. Finally, for 700 Australian dollars or 450 US, we have the McLaren P1. Now, this is a fantastic looking supercar. It's very elegantly designed, and that's mainly due to McLaren, not necessarily Lego, but Lego have recreated it very well. The orange and black color scheme really pops here. You get all the functionality you expect in the Lego Technic Supercars range. It also has a very luxurious unboxing experience because you lift off the top, everything's sectioned off in a very nice way. So you are paying premium prices for it, but you are getting a premium experience. And there's nothing else to say apart from it's a fantastic looking Lego car set to display. If you want to get all three, either the Lamborghini, the P1, or the Ferrari Daytona, and you can only get one, this one's it, simply because it looks fantastic, and I know will offer a great building experience, and it's just a great Lego set on display. I have nothing else to say than it looks fantastic if it's something you can afford. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what Lego sets you would get for your Christmas. And if there's a Lego set that you would add to this list instead of the ones that I have suggested, again, let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. If you want to see more content just like this, please subscribe. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and keep building.